So over the last 10 months, Benks has sent me a lot of cases to review. Now, they've never asked for anything in return except for an honest opinion, an honest feedback on their cases. So I've ended up with all of these cases, and I do like all of them, but obviously I've used some of them more than others. So today we're going to discuss which one I've used the most and which one I've used the least. Now, this is a very special video because this is only going to happen once a year, and the reason it's happening now is because the time of the iPhone 15 Pro is coming to an end, and soon we're going to have the iPhone 16. So this is probably going to be the last discussion I have of cases. Now, I've got all of the cases lined up in front of me here, and I'm not going to keep you guys in suspense. I've already put them in order of the ones that I like the best, the one that I use the most, and the one that I've used the least. Now, I have reviews of all of these cases, and I'll have the links to those below if you want to find out anything more specific about these cases. So I'm just going to give you my ranking based on how much I've used them. And straight up, number one is the Benks Air Montage for the iPhone 15 Pro. Now, this is by far my favorite case because of how little it adds to the bulk of the phone. It adds hardly anything at all, and as I'll discuss in a minute, it offers all the protection that I think I will ever need. But above all, this thing just looks amazing, especially on the black iPhone 15 Pro. It just goes together. I don't think I've seen another case looking like this. Now, I do have the fine woven case as well, which I find looks pretty nice. But this one, like the materials, the thinness of it, just can't be beat. I really like the thinness more than anything, because ideally, I won't have a case in my phone at all, right? Because the phone itself looks really good, handles really well, but at some point, I will drop this phone. In fact, I have dropped this phone in this case. Well, I didn't drop it. It fell out of my trouser pocket while I was upside down. No judgment. And look, one of the biggest criticisms about this kind of case is that it doesn't offer that much protection. But this fell out of my trouser pocket twice. The first time it landed on the top, and you can barely see a little mark there and a little mark on the camera protector. And the second time I dropped it, it ended up on its base, and you can just see a tiny little speck there from where it contacted the tarmac that it fell onto. And that's really minimal. I've said in the past, I think this is all the protection that you actually need. If you're going mountaineering or something, yeah, okay, yeah, no worries. Get you a big, like, rugged armor case or whatever. But I think for most people, this not only looks fantastic, but it also offers all the protection you need. To be honest, I've used this case more than the fine woven case since I got it. So that is the Benks Air for the iPhone 15, and this is in the Montage color scheme. Second place goes to another Air case, and this is one of the latest from Benks. It's very similar to the Montage one. In fact, they're both Air cases, and the main deal about this is the color. So instead of just having a black color like the Montage has, this has a really nice blue and green and orange on it. And if you're going for a little bit more style, but a little different style to the black, then this one also works really well. So let's pop this in and see how it looks. Easy on, easy off, and again, just the feel of this thing, the minimalism of this thing is so nice. The quality of it as well. You can see the quality of all the cutouts, the quality of the stress relief areas, just the smoothness of it, no rough edges at all. The camera bump. Now, this camera bump is plastic as opposed to the Montage one, which is metal. But actually, now that I've dropped it and I've got this little scratch here, I'm thinking maybe the plastic won't scratch as easily, or it wouldn't show as much. But then again, metal is more premium, so you know, it can go either way really. But definitely this is one of the nicer cases, and it comes in at my number 2 most used case. When do I use this? I don't know. It depends on where I'm going, depends on how I'm dressed, and so on. I have an extensive review of this one on my channel as well. The link will be below if you want to see that. And the nice thing about it is the serial number. Imagine a serial numbered case, so you know that your case is actually unique. It's got the MagSafe magnets as well, which is really thin, and they've managed to embed it in this ultra thin case really well, and that's really strong case. In fact, if you care about the strength of MagSafe, the MagSafe on the Aurora Air is stronger than on the Montage Air, and there are pros and cons again. When I'm at home, I like to use the Montage because how good it looks, or when I'm going out without driving. But if I was in a car and I wanted to mount it to a MagSafe car charger or something, then the Aurora would be the case that I use. So number 1, number 2, and now number 3 is a very similar case. This one is Kevlar as well, and it's not the Armor Air, it's the Armor Pro. Now this one is also made of Kevlar, but the difference between this one and the Armor Air is that this one is like it has like a rubber all around it. You know, this is going to protect a bit more, even though I think the Armor Air protects enough. This one's going to protect a little bit more. So it's got Kevlar on the back, it's got the MagSafe and everything. The inside is nice and soft, and it's got this rubber around the edge. No, it's not soft rubber, it's kind of stiff rubber, so it's going to hold the phone really well in there. But it's got the full coverage and it's got the buttons and everything. Let's throw the case onto the phone now, like so, and that's how it goes. Fits really well, looks really good. Like this grey gunmetal against the black looks really good. It really goes with the black iPhone again, and you've got the matching buttons on either side. So a very good looking case. This is number 3 because I really like the look, but it is number 3 because it is not as thin, obviously, as the Armor Air cases. So this one adds a little bit of bulk to the phone. It's not a lot of bulk, but obviously a lot more than the Armor Air. I use this when I'm going out, if I'm going for a walk into the park or something, where I think I might drop the phone. I use this one, or sometimes I'm just in the mood and I want a little bit of a different look. I take this out as well. Now the buttons work really well, very well designed case, no complaints about this at all, very good quality all around. And that is the Benks Kevlar Armor Pro, a very solid number 3. So now we have number 4 and number 5. Now I have them 4 and 5. Actually, it should be like this. These cases are the perspective cases, and they are very similar in design. Obviously you have a black one and you have a white one. For most things they would rate identically, but I just like the white one because it is the only white case that I have. And sometimes when I want this kind of standout look, I'll use this one. Also like using this one to work a lot because it is kind of like a talking point. People, it stands out a lot. You don't see a lot of people with white cases. So when I go with this to work, they ask, oh, what case is that? And then I start to show them all of the physics related stuff with the capacitance and physics and stuff marked all over it. This is how it looks on my black iPhone 15 Pro. See, now that is a very stunning look. That is a very stunning look. Look at that. That looks really, really good. And as I said, no other case that I have looks anything like this. So when I want this very unique look, that's when I take this one out. The buttons on this one are plastic, but they work really well. No complaints about that. Nice camera protection. As usual, very good quality of port and cutout locations and dimensions and centerness, if that's a word. And as I said, I will take this to work. I'll take this when I'm going out to like a pub or something because I don't have to worry about putting it down on a table covered with spilt beer or whatever. I know the phone is going to be fine in this case. So coming in at a very close number 5 is the black version. Now this looks very good as well. It's kind of a similar design, but it has, instead of just the white, it has these metallic bits. Now these metallic bits are really unique, and you really do see the perspective effect as you twist and turn it. Inside is plastic, got the MagSafe ring there, and the camera ring also is plastic. So let's put it in the phone and see how it looks. And as you can see, I've mastered how to change my on my iPhone 15 Pro now. This one, it looks good as well. It's a more subdued, toned down kind of look. So it's not as flashy as the white one, but everything else about it is pretty similar. But this one actually does say physics on it. And got some orange accents as well. Buttons work exactly the same. Good clearance on the screen. Now I don't use a screen protector. If I had one, it would probably be nice and flush with the edge of the case. So those are the perspective cases. And coming in at number 6, we have the pop stand case. Now it is coming at number 6, even though I use this whenever I'm going traveling on a plane, because it has the built-in pop stand, which comes in very handy for putting it on the table, little tray table on a plane, in order to view movies and so on if I'm on a flight. It's also very nicely made, the same soft rubbery stuff, although the back of this is clear, as you can see. Well, not clear, what do you call that? You know, whatever you call that translucent dark thing. pop thing is also nice when I'm traveling, if taking pictures while I'm about, so you can like securely hold the phone, and it turns 360 degrees. The only downside of this case is the buttons. The buttons aren't, this is the first case in which the buttons aren't floating buttons, so they kind of like have a cutout on two sides but are joined on the other two sides, on the short sides. So these buttons aren't going to feel as great as all of the cases I've looked at so far. Put the phone in and it looks really good because it is a really nice combination of like the dark gray and the black. You got your little Benks branding. Again, all of the cutouts really good, really well placed. And again, looks really good with the black iPhone 15 Pro. And we're going to test out the pop standiness, so you can have it like so. Or if you want, you can even put it in portrait mode like so, and you can use it. So a very nice case that I use when traveling. It also doesn't look too flashy, so if you're going somewhere and you're worried about getting your phone stolen from you, then that's another advantage of this case. It's very nondescript. It doesn't look as flashy as anything that we've looked at so far. And last but by no means least, we're going to have the Istanbul case, which is part of the City series from Benks. Let's get it out of the box. Now, these come in a number of options, like you have all these different cities. I got sent the Istanbul one. It is a very nice case. Now, the reason I don't use it as much of the other ones is that I've never been to Istanbul. So I feel kind of silly walking around with it, but it is just as well constructed as the pop case and actually it's better constructed than the pop case. It's more similar to the perspective cases in terms of quality and construction. In fact, if you look at these now, I'm pretty sure it's going to be hard to tell which one is which. From the inside, they're pretty much identical. The difference really is just the print on the black. Even though these are the perspective cases and this is not, there is still a little bit of 3D-ness there. You can just kind of see like the orange route floating over the city map a little bit. So it's a very nice effect. Put it onto the phone. Yep, again, looks really good. So that's the last one. Now, as I said, all of these cases are very good. All of them look very good. And I've put them in this order simply because I've used some of them more than others. And this is all just my personal taste and personal opinion, but they are all very good cases. So I am going to pop my iPhone 15 back into the Montage Kevlar Armor Air, because this is my ultimate favorite one, and I will use this until I get my iPhone 16. That's going to be it for iPhone 15 cases until I get my iPhone 16. Now I hope to have a couple of the Benks cases on launch day when I'm going to get my 16 Pro or Pro Max. I haven't decided which one yet. I might actually just ending up getting both of them to try out because I like the size of the 15 Pro, but I am kind of moving away from traveling with big cameras, and my phone is going to be my only camera now. So if the iPhone 16 Pro Max cameras are substantially better, that's the one I'm probably going to end up going with despite the increased size. So if you want to see those, hey, by all means, like and subscribe. Check out my link below if you want to get any of the cases. They go straight to the Benks website. As I said, this is unsponsored. I don't get any commission or anything if you buy it. That's why I can give you my honest opinion on these cases. So as I said, this is the end of the 15 Pro cases review for me, and I'll see you when the iPhone 16 Pro comes out. Okay, bye for now.